going through Final Fantasy XI Online, and as of right now we're playing a monk. We're just working on the monk, trying to get it from 1 to 99. In the last video we got to level 46, so in this video we should just jump up to 50. And so let us just jump right in. And so we'll check the auction house one more time just to see if any more of our pawns sold. Alright. So we do have a little bit of gil, so we're gonna go buy a few more of our maps just to get them out of the way real quick. There's a lot of people over here. Okay, so we'll get this. Maps of the Boyata tree. Include the Boyata tree for 3,000 gil. Yes. Map of the Boyata tree. Examine map of the Boyata tree. A map of the Boyata tree. Maps of the Viluganen Palace. Include Viluganen Palace as well as the Shrine of Ru Evito for 3,000 gils. So we'll say yes. Map of the Viluganen Palace. Examine map of the Vilugan Palace. A map of the Vilugan Palace and the Shrine of Ru Evita. Map of Sea Serpent Grotto. So maps of the Sea Serpent Grotto include Sea Serpent Grotto for 3,000 gil. A map of Sea Serpent Grotto. Examine map of Sea Serpent Grotto. A map of the Sea Serpent Grotto. Maps of the Olgarond Range. Include Olgarond Range for 3,000 gil. Map of the Olgarond Range. Examine map of the Olgarond Range. A map of the and range. Maps of SOXJA include SOXJA for 3,000 gil. So map of SOXJA. Examine map of SOXJA. A map of SOXJA. Maps of Old Town Movopolis include Old Town Movopolis for 3,000 gil. So map of Old Town Movopolis. Examine map of Old Town Movopolis. A map of Old Town I pushed the button too fast, sorry. If we can find it again. There, map of Old Town Movopolis. A map of Old Town Movopolis. Maps of Newton Movopolis include Newton Movopolis for 3,000 gil. Map of Newton Movopolis. Examine map of Newton Movopolis. A map of Newton Movopolis. Maps of the Sacrarium include Sacrarium for 3,000 gil. So yes. Map of the Sacrarium. Examine map of the Sacrarium. A map of the Sacrarium. Maps of Cape Reverne include Reverne site number A01 as well as Reverne site number B01 for 3,000 gil. So map of Cape Reverne. Examine map of Cape Reverne. A map of Reverne geological sites number A01 and B01, number B01. Maps of Alteo include Alteo for 3,000 gil. So map of Alteo. Examine map of Alteo. A map of Alteo. Maps of FFXI include Grand Palace of FFXI for 3,000 gil. Oops, hold on. So, maps of FFXI. Examine map of FFXI. A map of the Grand Palace of FFXI. Maps of Ruhimet include the Grand Palace of Ruhimet for 3,000 gil. Map of Ruhimet. Examine map of Ruhimet. A map of the Garden of Ruhimet. Map of Nashmeu. This map shows the layout of the Azov Isle town of Nashmeu. It costs 3,000 gil. So, yes. So, map of Nashmeu. Examine map of Nashmeu. A map of Nashmeu. This map shows the forest tract stretching west of Al-Zabi. A map of the Wajom woodlands can be yours for 3,000 gil. So, we'll grab that one. Map of the Wajom woodlands. Examine map of the Wajom woodlands. A map of the Wajom woodlands. Maps of the Kedarva Mire include Kedarva Mire for 3,000 gil. So map of Kedarva Mire. Examine map of Kedarva Mire. A map of Kedarva Mire. Maps of Mount Zalem include Mount Zalem for 3,000 gil. Map of Mount Zalem. Examine map of Mount Zalem. A map of Mount Zalem. Maps of Adiwa subtrain include Adiwa subtrain for 3,000 gil. Map of Adiwa subtrain. Examine map of Adiwa subtrain. A map of Adiwa subtrain. So maps of Mamuk include Mamuk for 3,000 gil. So oops. Map of Mamuk. Examine map of Mamuk. A map of Mumuk. Maps of Halvung include Halvung for 3,000 gil. Map of Halvung. Examine map of Halvung. A map of Halvung. Maps of Arapago Reef include Arapago Reef for 3,000 gil. Map of Arapago Reef. Examine map of Arapago Reef. A map of Arapago Reef. Maps of Alzadal ruins include Alzadal undersea ruins for 3,000 gil. Map of Alzadal ruins. Examine map of Alzadal ruins. A map of the Alzadal undersea ruins. This map shows Baflu thickets lying to the north of Alzabi. It costs 3,000 gils. So. The items, magical maps. Map of the Baflu thickets. Examine map of the Baflu thickets. A map of the Baflu thickets. And then, it looks like we have 3 more maps to go, and each of these maps are 30,000 gil each. So that means if we wanted, we could buy one. We can't buy any more than that. So, we're gonna go ahead and pick up one. A map of Bunkerl Inlet is an older map that was often used to depict Bunkerl Inlet as it costs 30,000 gil. So we're gonna pick that one up. So key magic maps. Okay, map of Bunkerl Inlet. Examine map of Bunkerl Inlet. A map of Bunkerl Inlet. And then so we need 60,000 more gil in order to finish getting our maps. So let's see. We have enough to buy one shield, so we'll get the last 2 shields, or I mean last 2 maps a little later. Alright, so we are going to try to get from 46 to 50. So let us have him cast Signet on us. And we had our instant warp, so we're good. And then we can alright, so I'm gonna try one place I can think of. It might not be the place we want to go, but understood. And way to Labyrinth on Zozo you go. I think this is where we can get from 45 to 50. Let us see. Ooh. This might be levels. This might be harder than I thought. The information on this page instructs you to defeat the following: 2 labyrinth leeches, 3 members of the goblin family. Okay, so this is target level 40. Target level range 45 to 49. So, we should be able to go ahead and do this part. We actually want to make it across this place, to the other side. And I forgot to pick up some silent oil and some sneak powder, or sneak oil and silent powder, but or I don't know what it's called now. Anyway, silence and invisible is what I forgot. But we'll try to make it so this should be a good place for us to level up. Let's just use and so yeah, so the survival guide is way down here. When you use Ixley, you get ported way up here, and the survival guide is way down there. So we would like to, but like I say, we forgot to we forgot to grab what's this thing? Incredibly tough. Anyway, we're gonna have to go back to town. But this is the place we want to come. We will be right back. I completely forgot about us needing to get some powder and some oil, so we're just gonna grab this so we don't forget. And then We're gonna go to the Mog. Current region, Port Bastock, Moggle Home. So from 1 through about level 40, you shouldn't really need silent powder and excuse me, and the sneak, but I would recommend grabbing some around 45. And this is the Curio Vendor Moggle. We talked to him once before and he didn't have anything because we didn't have any items. But now if we go to him, come hither, able adventurer, from perceptibly perilous peaks to completely creepy caves, I've gathered glorious goodies to sell to one such as yourself. You don't seriously suspect I stole this sumptuous stash through some surreptitious scheme? I assure you, I acquired them on the up and up. You won't find frivolous frauds here, only absolutely authentic articles, Kupo. And so, for sale, he has medicine, ammunition, ninjutsu tools, foodstuffs, scrolls, keys, various key items. And so we're going to go to medicine and buy. Now, I was going to just read this stuff when we first opened it. However, it as we get new items, it adds more stuff to here. And excuse me. So it kind of mixes and matches what we already had in here, which is good. But if we're trying to read it, it's a lot harder to do. So we're going to have to wait until we get all of the items required so that it shows all the items at one time, and then that's when we'll read that. Because it's going to be much easier that way, to keep track of what we actually read, and what we didn't. Because it does play the mix and match game of where items appear in that list. Alright, so we now have some silent oil and some prism powder, and so that's going to help us. Okay, now we're going to go back to where we were just at, if we can find it. And then we're going to summon our trusts once again. Oh wow. I don't like having those little things right there. Hmm. So we're going to also go to quests, and we're going to combat region, and it's going to take me a minute to find Labyrinth of Ozozo. Okay, so it's in Combat Zillart 2, Conflict Labyrinth of Onzozo. Defeat the requisite number of enemies in the Labyrinth of Onzozo. So we'll say yes to that. And then what we're going to do, so we're going to items, we're going to, when you apply this, you want to put the silent oil on first, and then you want to put the prism powder on. If you put the prism powder on before the silent oil, you're just wasting it. So, because right as soon as you try to apply the silent oil, you'll come out of invisibility. So that is one thing to make note of. Now we should be able to just walk through here. Without too much of an issue. There are some really big monsters in here. So, and there's this area where it's just filled with scorpions. Let's make sure we go the right way. And so, this is a really good place to get from 45 to 250. And here in a little bit we'll see why. We're gonna run up and get the survival guide. So the page that we picked up was to kill 3 goblins and 2 leeches. And I finally did figure out how to like toggle our buffs up here. I finally did figure out how to do that, and with a controller, just press Y and it will you'll have to press Y twice, and then you can go like that. And if you need to disable your buffs, you can do that. Well, this has, where is our, oh, it's up. Okay. And so then, oops. And same goes with survival guides. When you first get them, make sure the little window pops up. It's just making certain that you got it. Now, when you first get here, these guys might be a little tough. generally you're gonna, in order to get this to work, you're gonna have to try to fight them all three, which, you know, like I say in this game, we don't want, we would prefer to fight one-on-one, but for this pool you might end up getting all three of them because they are by sight, and with the other two with their backs behind us, backs to us, means they're, but then this one found us. And so at first it's gonna take us a little bit to get them down. That was actually a pretty good pull because we've really only been fighting one at a time, so and I would wager you could get from 50 to 55 in this place as well if you wanted. And we might come back to this place at 50. Because this is a great area to do your get a lot of pages done, because you just come to this part right here and there's 3 goblins, and then there's the leeches right there, and the respawn rate is pretty good, so like you can pretty much get it to work out where you come down here and kill the leeches, and then you go back up and the goblins have started spawning. And of course the leeches do they do link, and we'll probably get the other one soon. There is an air or thunder elemental that floats around in this area on occasion, and we'll probably see it. And I've found that you can normally ignore it, but if it gets too close to where you're battling and then gets hit by an AoE, it can start attacking you, and it's going to be the much tougher mob in this area, so you want to run away from it. But if it's just floating around, you can normally ignore it unless an AoE hits it. So but that's the only thing you really got to watch out for right here, is for that little thunder elemental thing. Well, sometimes it's thunder, sometimes it's air. And then see our ranger will end up pulling. We can kill another. Might as well, since and then if we can remember, at 49 we can get new gear. Well, we can put new gear on, I should say. And I don't know if we have any. So, and then here's one of our goblin friends. And if you get it right, you can, alternate where the goblins are spawning right as soon as you kill them. And then, so you get to kill 3 of the goblins. And then, right as soon as you've killed those, the little leeches have spawned. And it's a pretty good little place to just come, because of that. See how we killed one and the next one spawned. So and then we need to pay attention to our healer. So we got to make sure she gets refreshed. Of course we're going to if we're lucky, we can kill this one and then refresh her right now. Trust. And then so that's if the goblin's looking away from you. If he looks at you, he'll start attacking. But you do want to make sure that your healers have MP, because if you start fighting something and they're very low on MP, if you're already struggling with it, chances are you won't make it through the fight. And then that's our 3 goblins. Then we'll come down here and one of the leeches. So, like I say, this is a very good place to come from about 45 to, I mean, we might be able to get to 50 and we might try that. I mean, to 55. We might try that. And our healers do seem to run out of MP pretty quick. So, it's something to pay attention to. So, we've been kind of lucky in our pools because they just keep getting to locations where they turn their backs to us when they first spawn. And so that's made it very nice for us. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you end up getting all three of them. And of course he used his little thing, so pretty much every time we try to attack him, he dodges us. And so, we can just wait around for a second and you can rest. Oops. then just a little bit of rest is fine. Just trying to get your healers a little more MP. And see, I like it much better with having the damage show up on top of the enemy like that, rather than in our chat log. I like it much better. However, they do have enemies in this game that are much taller than the screen. So if you're fighting in one of those type, it doesn't appear on the screen, so you can't really see it. But I think it looks a lot nicer, and it saves your chat from scrolling extremely fast. And there's cockatrices down below, and there's also a goblin. And the cockatrices you should be able to start fighting once you get to like 48. They are by sight, so if they see you, they will start attacking you. The leeches do link, but if you're just running around them, they won't attack you. They'll just sit there bouncing up and down. But the goblins and the cockatrices, they attack by sight, so if they see you, they will start attacking. And then one of our goblin friends should be up soon. And all you can do is hope your healers finally decide to heal you. Huh. There. And our ranger, it can always pull aggro. I mean, she does so much damage. Right. Should have one more goblin soon. Come down here and look for some leeches. But if we haven't seen it yet, but if the elemental thing, oh, never mind. It looked like he was gonna start running after us. But if we do happen to see the elemental thing pop up, we'll leave it be. But if it starts attacking us, we will be using an instant warp because they're much stronger than we are. But really, they're there to sense magic, and since we're not magic, they normally just ignore us. But if an AoE hits it, then that's why they would attack us. But if we were like a black mage or red mage and we were casting magic, it would just start automatically attacking us. So like I say, I mean, this little spot is really good. Like how I find locations to level up is I Google it. I just like whatever level I am. I like, for instance, 45 through 50. I just type in leveling 45 through 50. Final Fantasy 11 in Google, and then it will normally pop up some lists, and then I just kind of glance through them. A lot of the walkthroughs are designed for parties, so if you have more than yourself, you know, in a party, there's some really good places to go. But if you're doing it solo, I suggest typing in solo leveling, like 45 through 50, and then do it that way, or you're most likely gonna get a lot of recommendations of what to do as a group. And so that's how I find. You can always port to an area and get to a grounds tomb and look at the pages and see what levels they are. That will also be a good way to do it. But I have somebody who's like, such and such was a great place to do, and I went there, and it was it was like way higher level than what I was. I'm like, yeah, about that. And we have a great spot at level 55 to get to 60 really quick, but we probably won't have it unlocked just yet. So so for now it's more of a toss-up thing. Of where we go. And now that we have our mount, excuse me, now that we have our mount, we can go running around some more. Zytron earring, year all races, dark +6, blue +6, level 49 all jobs. And one of these days I might learn the symbols, but as of right now, I have absolutely no clue. What they all mean. And so now we're level 48. And we can put on our newest weapons, so that will help. And then we've got to wait till 49. Hopefully we remember at 49 to put our gear on, because then at 50 we get a new set as well. Hmm. See, normally I'm always locked onto the target. I don't know how you... Okay, so this thing we got that's called Carbuncle's Ruby. We're going to, after we get to 50, we'll do that thing. We'll find out what the Carbuncle Ruby is for. And we might just make a brand new video for that, just so we can keep it somewhat nice and neat. Like I say, we're not gonna be focusing on any other jobs right now besides the monk. Some of the jobs you have to do quests to unlock. However, we're making an exception with the summoner, because of the way the summoner works to unlock. You have to get 7 different cutscenes, and they can take, some of them can take a while to actually get, and so that Carbuncle Ruby is for the summoner to unlock the summoner, and so we're going to, since we just got it, we're going to go ahead and see if we can't start getting it unlocked, just because of the way it is set up. That will just make it a little easier for us later on. And so let us see. I'm just trying to make sure when we hit 49, I want to put our new gear on. That's why. Kind of surprises me the elemental hasn't appeared. Normally there's always one floating up and down this place. Well, the last few times I've came here, there's been one. There's actually a person here. Like on the server where my ranger is. It's no surprise to see other people around, but on this server, it kind of is a surprise to see a person around. This one might be a little busier than the other server that I was on. The other server that I was on, I think I was the only one on it. Huh. I don't know. It was... They could, they could probably, but at this point, I mean, this game is so old, they could probably, like, combine the servers, like the ones that are, simply very, very low populated. So I don't know why they don't, but I mean, it might be a good idea. The server that my ranger is on, though, like, I've actually been on a few servers, just while trying to do this playthrough, and I haven't been on one that is nearly as populated as the one my ranger is on. And so it's kind of interesting. Like, I mean, I get that this is a very, very old game, right? But you would think that there'd still be, like, comparing how busy it is on that server with my ranger, you'd still think that it'd be pretty busy on the other servers as well, but all the other servers fell in comparison to how busy the one that my ranger is on. So okay, now we're level 49, so we're gonna come up here for a second, and now we can get rid of our I'm not a fan of this hat. This is probably the only thing, like, I don't mind the gear set, but the hat I do not care for. But it seems to be the only one that I've noticed I don't really like. So Shinobi Hachigane. Head all races, defense 17, level 49, monk, samurai, ninja. Shinobi Guy. Body all races, defense 33, level 49, monk, samurai, ninja. Shinobi Teko. Hands all races, defense 11, level 49, monk, samurai, ninja. We'll see if we have any. We probably won't get a belt for a very long time. Shinobi Hakama. Legs all races, defense 23, level 49, monk, samurai, ninja. Shinobi Kayahan. Feet all races, defense 9, level 49, samurai, monk, samurai, ninja. And we probably won't see it back anytime soon. We could probably throw that on. And we can probably, just so we don't lose it, throw our re-raise earring, our raising earring in. Okay, so now we have gear at level 49, which is great. And then at 50 we can also switch. And there's the air elemental. It has to be right there. Huh. It's like, to see if we check it. Check. Seems incredibly tough, and so if we have to fight it, we're not gonna win. So we just kind of hope that we can avoid it. And it's probably gonna, it does just randomly float around, and then it disappears like after a little bit. But it's kind of right in our way. Huh. The nice part about this area though is if you actually have to run, if you're here, you know, you got up there, so you might be able to easily run away. And because we were swapping gear, we kind of offset everything. But I have to say that this is definitely the best place to come when you hit 45. The jungle that we were at is really good from 40 to 45. And so that's pretty much our pattern, is At first, we start out in South Gustavsburg, and then we move over to Constadt Highlands, and then from Constadt Highlands we go up to Valtram Dunes. At Valtram Dunes we generally get from 20 to 30, and then we run over to Cliffham Island, which is from 30 to 40. Then we go to the jungles. There's two jungles and they both start with a Y. One of them is much higher and the other one is if you go to the one with toneberries, that's the one that's higher, so I would recommend going to the other one. The other jungle is the one that's gonna have lower level mobs, and it will be much easier to deal with. And so that is my recommendation. And then from 50 to 55, it is kind of a toss-up. I can't really say what a good place is to go. I mean, it might be here. We might be able to just stay here, you know, but I'm not entirely certain on that factor. So we might actually try that. And the leeches are what drops the carbuncles ruby. So if you are looking specifically for your summoner job, kill leeches until it drops. So, Carbuncle's Ruby, a rare gem believed to have a will of its own. Like I say, we're going to once we hit 50, we'll take a moment to find out what that is about. So, looks like a goblin spawned. And as you go through the game, you will gain more options to get XP bonuses. Right now we just have the chariot band. Later on we should be getting a trust that will give us an experience bonus, and I think I mentioned it when we were going through the trust in a video before, but that's not for a while away. But those things help tremendously with leveling. It doesn't take extremely long to level. In my opinion, I think they did. They found a good balance for the leveling. And of course, if you're doing actual missions and stuff, the grind isn't very noticeable because you're doing, you're doing a bunch of other stuff. If you're just trying to grind it out, it can feel like a grind, but it's not a humongous grind. Nothing like WoW had, or Lordcraft was. Oh, and we haven't done it, but each time you level, if you want your trust to be the same level, you'll actually want to respawn them. Like, you'll want to refresh them, and when you summon them again, they will be your level. So that's something to, I mean, right now it's not a huge deal, but later on it can make a pretty good difference. So, and see our elemental friend, I have no idea where it went. I mean, it will come back eventually, but it's kind of nice when it disappears. So, we're almost 50. Huh. I mean, we're right on the tip. And again, the reason, like, from normally our video would be from 40 to 45, and then it'd be from 45 to 50, but it just so happens when we were doing some of the missions for Bastock, we ended up gaining some odd levels, and so that's why it started at 42, and then I was way too tired to go any further once we hit 46. So that's why this video is going to be from 46 to 50, and we pretty much need just one more kill. So Like I say, I'm half tempted to just come back here and see if we can get from... Because this is a good little spot. I mean, once we get to 50 and we can start running around, killing other things, you know. So I'm thinking we might just be here again. We're close. Huh. And if you probably if you had the experience bonus on, that probably would have pushed you over to level. So, all right, now we're level 50. So we are going to skedaddle. Oh, this is the grounds. The survival guide is the one that's floating up and down. The grounds tomb are always stationary. So that's the fastest way to tell if you are the right one. All right, so we are now level 50. So that was our goal for this video, was to get ourselves to 50. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to our logout point. Bastock Markets, exit, and we're going to end this video here, and then we'll come back. And then I'm not a fan of the way they span things, like you'll be able to use the assist channel and that appears all the time, until you can't use the assist channel anymore. But it's like, just tell me once, and if I want to know, I'll go talk to the liaison dude. Anyway, so that is our we are now level 50. Our profile, we're rank 3. Our combat skills hand to hand is 150. And our playtime is 1 day, 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 47 seconds. And I will see you all in the next video.